Alright, Adin, this is getting ridiculous. I now have more content to make on you than I have to make on anything else, okay? I'm not even joking when I say that. Adin Ross, ladies and gentlemen, yes, that is right. We're talking about Adin Ross once again. I don't think it's appropriate to make two videos about the same person in one day for multiple reasons, but we're doing it. Adin Ross's stepbrother came out and called him out on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know, dude. We're gonna get more into that later on in the video, but before we do go any further, I want to ask that you leave a like on the video if you enjoyed at any point. Subscribe if you are new around here. Check out the comments and the description for my Twitter down below. Follow me over there. And with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and continue on with the video. So for those of you that have been around the channel for my return over the past week or so, you'll know that Adin Ross has found his way into the upload schedule quite frequently. It's honestly kind of ridiculous how much this guy is being talked about lately, but I would be stupid to not be talking about him as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying the content for what it is. I know I'm enjoying making it because Adin's getting up to some wild shit lately. So like I said, as you guys know, we've been covering Adin quite a bit. Lots has been going on. He's been switching over to the streaming platform Kick instead of Twitch. I just finished uploading a video going over Adin talking about being permanently banned off of Twitch for literally no reason. I'm excited to hear more about that situation in particular, and I'll be sure to update you guys as soon as I do. But out of absolutely nowhere, literally while I was making my last video, I was genuinely even considering putting it at the end of the video. That's how much this timing aligned. Adin Ross's stepbrother came out and exposed him on Twitter for being essentially a whiny little brat influenced by Andrew Tate, causing a huge rift within Adin Ross's family, and essentially resulting in Adin Ross cutting ties with his family and kind of just being a little mini Andrew Tate with his family. I don't know if my description was very good there, but we'll go ahead and read the tweet thread, and you guys can let me know what you think about it down below. We'll talk about it a little bit afterwards, of course, as well. Okay, so there's about like 10 tweets total in this thread, so you get a snack, get comfortable. This is a long one, fellas. I never wanted to bring this to my— oh my god, the thread emoji. Jesus, every time you see that, you know you're about to have like a certified Twitter moment. I never wanted to bring this to my platform, but I need— what platform? Okay, all right, I'm gonna try and quit interrupting myself here. But I need to get this rant out. I am Adin Ross's half-brother. This is not a joke, and a few of you already knew. He was banned from Twitch yesterday and has been making erratic career and life decisions since meeting Andrew Tate. Okay, look, for those of you that don't know, I want to jump in and say this right quick, right off the bat. I am a big supporter of Andrew Tate for the most part, so I already don't like the direction that this thread is heading in, or at least I didn't at first, but it's a very fair thing for this guy to be saying if he's the real stepbrother, if everything that he's saying is true, if everything that he goes on to say throughout the rest of the thread is true. There's a very good reason as to why he's bringing up Andrew Tate's potential influence on Adin, and like I said, we'll get into that in a minute. Adin's alleged stepbrother goes on to say, fame came to Adin really fast when he was still a teenager, so our whole family, including my mom, have worked hard to keep certain people away from him and keep him on the right path. We've always been a team like that, and there's never been a problem before, until last year. My brother started talking to the controversial influencer Andrew Tate online. Adin had just gone through a bad breakup with his girl Pammy, his first serious relationship, and was really vulnerable. I showed our dad some of Tate's content, and he got really worried. I do just want to pop in here and be the voice of objectivity for a second, the voice of clear optics. A man watching another man talk about going to the gym, taking care of yourself, learning discipline, making more money, putting yourself at a better point in the world, at the place you want to be, that shouldn't be worrisome. There should be nothing worrisome about that. Again, being the voice of objectivity here, like how can you even sit here and argue me on that point? I don't know, dude. It's so weird that people talk about this guy as if he's like problematic. Like, I don't like Sneeko, as you guys saw from the last video I did where I talked about Sneeko a little bit, but I do like that Sneeko uses that word as sarcastically as he does, the problematic, because it's like it's such a dumb terminology, and anything that falls under that umbrella that we would label these people with is just so fucking stupid, man. Bro literally just says go to the gym and make more money, and he's now a sex trafficking problematic individual. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Actually, as a matter of fact, I want to bring this up as a side note to that. I just watched Passion of the Christ for the first time. I don't know how many of you watching this have seen that. Probably like a good 99% of you haven't seen that movie if you're watching commentary content. Educate yourself a little bit. But that movie is a great example of how easy it is to turn somebody's good word into talk of the devil. Like, literally the entire plotline of that movie is Jesus Christ trying to spread the word of God, trying to help people people, trying to purport a message that's more healthy for the masses than the current people in power are. Sound familiar? And the Roman Empire sees that as a threat to their power, to their rule, and so they set out on a warpath to have Jesus Christ executed, which ends up resulting in Jesus Christ being crucified. There's a lot of subtle hints all throughout the movie as well that this is a very, very political situation, and these kinds of things have been happening since the dawn of human history, as long as power has existed. Don't get it twisted, okay? I'm not saying Andrew Tate is Jesus Christ by any means. I think in a lot of aspects, the guy's quite a fucking idiot. He's kind of a man-child. Money tends to do that to people. Nor am I saying that I wholeheartedly believe that the events from Passion of the Christ actually took place. I'm a bit undiscovered in the religious category, aspect, whatever you want to call it. All I'm pointing out is that look back on literally any history book, corruption at every level has always existed. I don't know what makes people think this generation is any different. I genuinely don't understand it. Anyways, I don't want to go on too much of a rant about that. It's all right in front of our faces. If you guys want to be ignorant to the legitimate, undeniable truth of human history, that's fine. Live in bliss ignorance. That's totally cool. Most of you are, and there's nothing anybody can do about that. So let's continue on with the video. Now, picking up from where we left off with Adin's dad being concerned about watching Andrew Tate videos, but Adin had turned 21, so the family decided to let him figure things out on his own. What's the worst that could happen, right? By the holidays, he had totally changed. He had a fight with dad and told him to dye his hair blue. I couldn't believe this was my kid brother. Okay, so this is something I'm gonna extend on real quick. I was literally talking in my last video about Adin saying something about, oh, if I had blue hair and did makeup, would you have banned me, Twitch?
I'm not even gonna bash Twitch completely, but the one thing I'll say is this. If I had blue hair and did my makeup, would you have banned me, Twitch? Would you have permanently banned me?
So in the first little bit of the clip there, he was asking Twitch if they would have banned him if he had blue hair and did his makeup. It sounds a lot like something Sneeko would say. I don't know why the Sneekos and now the Adin Rosses of the internet need to oversimplify issues like this by saying, oh, these people with blue hair, they're the ones with the safety nets, they're the ones that have the bulletproof vests on, they're the ones that are a real problem with society, when what they're really trying to say is people that push leftist ideologies, people that purport false narratives, blatantly false narratives in an attempt to try and get as many people on their side on a legitimate issue that faces society as possible. That's what they're really trying to say, but they just don't have the fucking brain capacity to do so. I don't know what kind of, I don't know what he thinks he's doing by saying things like that, especially to his fucking father in an interpersonal dispute. That is probably one of the most immature things. Imagine slinging an Andrew Tate insult at your father while you're fucking fighting with him. God, Dad, you're just a brokey. You don't get it. You don't have a Bugatti. You wouldn't know. Dude, you're literally a child, and this is what I was saying in my last video. This guy should not be giving people life advice, especially when, if this is true, he's behind closed doors fighting with daddy and telling him to go dye his hair blue because that's what Andrew Tate would say. Anyways, continuing on with the thread, when our dad found out Adin was going to fly to Romania to visit Andrew Tate in prison, he tried to intervene, but Adin totally cut him off. By the time he flew out, he cut off aunts, an uncle, cousins, and at least one grandparent. The people that raised him, his blood. If I have to hear my father cry over Adin one more time, I swear to God. It strained our relationship now too because I don't want to hear about Adin anymore. I'm so tired of this bullshit. The Kanye West thing alone caused so much drama. And for what? For clout? It's insane. A lot of kids look up to Adin. Last time we saw each other, we went shoe shopping and this little boy ran up to him and was crying, said he was his hero. Whether he asked for it or not, that's his audience and it's irresponsible to feed them this kind of nonsense, period. And honestly, dude, I kind of agree the direction that Adin has been heading in recently. I mean, go ahead and look at his Twitter alone, dude. He tweeted last 2 months ago, 3 months ago, or whenever it was, and then all of a sudden returns to Twitter and saying there's only 2 genders. I swiftly quote tweeted him by saying something along the lines of, yeah, I completely agree with you. The only difference between the two of us is 10 to 15 million followers and the intelligence to back up our controversial opinions. I mean, Adin's just not educated enough to be speaking from a lot of the standpoints he's speaking from. Clearly, he's demonstrated that. He kind of just says shit, like I said in that tweet as well. Which, I'll be honest with you, maybe 8-10 months ago, that might have been my strategy too. But you know what I did? I realized I was saying stuff, very controversial things in a public space. And so I took a step back. I educated myself a little bit. I grew. Now I understand, Adin, you have millions of followers and probably a lot more to keep up with than I do, but you also have a lot more responsibility to be doing that thing called growth. You may be giving yourself the illusion that you're growing right now, but it's very clear from the outside looking in that that's not the case. Anyways, continuing on with the thread once again. I mean, he's streaming porn on his channel, calling women dishwashers. We were never the closest growing up, but I don't even know who he is anymore. Now his Twitch is permanently banned, and his entire career hinges on the success of an unregulated gambling portal. What happened? Okay, well, I didn't even read these tweets fully before making the video. I'm not gonna lie. So, like, seeing this now and seeing the way he's, like, laying it all out, it's kind of deadly. Like, literally over the past week alone, Adin has single-handedly, like, torched his career, has done what Kanye did to his net worth and relevancy. Well, maybe not relevancy. I think Kanye might be more relevant than he has been in a long time, but kind of self-sabotaging. I don't know what it is, dude. I don't know why these guys think that essentially destroying everything that they've built for themselves is the way to go about it. But again, you know, they're all about speaking their truth and stuff, I guess. And it's not like they don't speak truth ever, so, I mean, I just don't know really what to make of these people anymore. Adin in particular. I could already hear you guys making fun of me for saying these people, but Adin's white, so you can't do that. I've always respected his wishes to keep the family private, and I've never commented on anything he said or done until one retweet the other day about the porn incident, and he calls me this morning screaming about how he wants my motorcycle back, which was a birthday gift, by the way. Oh, wow. That's bizarre, dude. But I will say, he kind of tries to deflect the fact that he did bring up the family life in the public spectacle regardless, even if it was just in one retweet or whatever he said. Like, I don't know, dude, if you have two public figures that are in a family, like in a family situation, and there's interpersonal stuff going on, I don't really care what the reason is. You don't go to a therapist, go to a fucking counselor, dude. Don't air this shit out online. That's so unhealthy. Like, obviously I've talked a lot of shit on Adin in this video if what this guy is saying is true, but I also want to take a moment to talk shit on the guy that's making the tweet thread, because literally just go to a counselor. You don't need to go to twitter.com. I totally understand if Adin would be pissed off about this. I'd fucking lose my mind if, like, my brother also ended up getting a little bit of clout in the commentary community and then started bringing our interpersonal past into it. I'd fucking lose my shit. I'd probably not continue doing commentary content if that was the case, bro. I have a past with my family. I don't want that shit being online. Regardless, the only difference between me and Adin is that my past is my past with my family, and Adin's is currently something that he's going through right now, so I guess it's not the same situation. But now that I've been vulnerable with you guys in regards to my past, let's go ahead and continue on with the video. Fuck me. Now, fellas, bringing us to the absolute end of the tweet thread, the final tweet reads, "I'm done. I'm not gonna sit around and wait for him to stop torturing our family because he's in love with some bald British rapist." Okay, dude, really? I used to blame Andrew Tate, but now I blame Adin Ross. He didn't make you act like this, not to me, not to our sister, and not to dad. Grow up. Well, exactly, right? That's the thing. Andrew Tate doesn't influence people to be spoiled little brats like Adin is allegedly being lately. That's not Andrew Tate's fault. It's the people that end up absorbing his information and doing what they want with it inside their own heads. People's perception of the information that they consume and soak up changes what they're going to do with that information. And everybody's perception of everything is completely different. So not everybody's gonna do good things with a legitimately good message. I listen to a lot of the things Andrew Tate says. Like, it comes up on my YouTube shorts, it comes up on pretty much everywhere I am all the time, and I actually indulge in it. But you don't see me going around and doing shit like this, do you? No, because I have a brain in my head, right? Right? It's almost like Andrew Tate isn't the villain, the mind-controlling figure that they say he is. It's almost like as long as people, you know, just like it was important before to have critical thinking skills, as long as people have critical thinking skills now, we'll be okay. Unfortunately, the concept of critical and independent thinking is completely shunned in mainstream media, however, so I don't know how okay we're going to be. Now, funny enough, fellas, that last part was supposed to be the outro of the video. I was supposed to follow that out by closing everything out, but we have some interesting developments as I started finishing up this video the day after I started working on it. The account that we've been looking at, the account that made this thread in the first place, yeah, they've been suspended now. They no longer exist on Twitter. I don't know how many of you know this or not, but when you get suspended on Twitter, your account you're not really going to get it back. A suspension is basically a ban. You need to submit form after form after form after form until Twitter finally decides to unban you. It's pretty much a ban. And this is really suspicious, I'm not going to lie. Why did this account get banned only a day after coming out with this thread? What else could this Twitter account have possibly gotten up to in the not even 24 hours since this thread came to light? Those two questions, and many more that I could probably come up with if you give me 5 minutes, are all going to be left unanswered. So it's a very suspicious ban that we're seeing take place on Twitter right now. But you bet your ass I got all the screenshots of the thread, and I got this video crunched out, so I guess if Adin was really trying to shut this shit down, nice try, dude. Anyways, that does about bring us to the end of the video. That was a much longer one than typical, but if you are new around here, consider subscribing and turning notifications on. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy at any point. Let me know what you guys think about all this down in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' take on this whole situation, but with all that out of the way, I'm out of here. Peace.